you know. All right. Well, everybody, this is Will. Say
Hello.
hi, Will. You just moved back to Indianapolis. What, a few months ago?
Yeah,
If
July
that?
4th is when we moved in.
July 4th.
Yeah.
Nice. So you've been experimenting with some cocktails and some whiskeys.
Yeah.
And we are going to have some fun tonight because I know you were just starting to dip your toes into the bourbon world. And what we have here, Daniel from 317 Bourbon has provided me with a nosing kit. Now, he sells these on his website. I don't remember how much for. I'll have to double check that. We're still early in the stream, so people have not really joined in. Once they do, I'll give you some more information about that. But come on, focus for me. On us. Focus on us. You know, it wouldn't be a Drink Pro stream if something didn't go wrong. Focus on my face.
They have a general idea of what we look like.
Come on. Yeah, high five. Maybe it'll like that. There we go. Who knows? It'll figure it out, or it won't. It's fine either way. We'll just be blurry today. Somebody's watching us. Okay. Yeah, that's super weird. What if I hold up a bottle? Maybe it just doesn't like humans. It likes whiskey.
Nope. There it is.
It's
too far.
I guess it's just too far back. I guess we'll just scoot forward.
It's like my eyesight.
Yeah, it's got. There we go. See, now we're in focus. Okay, great. We learned something today. I don't want to start with this whiskey. So we've got a nosing kit here. Big shout out again to Daniel 317 Bourbon on Instagram and many other places. You can find these nosing kits available. I'll go ahead and show you again all the different things in it. I'm going to stop even trying to change the focus on this camera. But we've got a lot of cool nosing notes to cover. It's got several different... it actually looks like it's... I don't know what order it's in. It looks like it's alphabetical, but then wheat is way up here. So we will just kind of go through it as it seems appropriate. I'm going to start off actually with one I think you've had before.
Okay.
This is the Starlight Holiday Edition, but it's a really good example of several different baking spices.
I have not had that one, so...
Oh, have you not? Okay, cool. So I'll let you pour however much you want in it. I'm going to stay relatively small.
Same. Yeah, I've mainly been in the Scotch world, so...
This is going to be... We might have some scotches come in later on. We've got some notes here, tobacco, licorice, some things I might look for in some scotches. Nate said, yo, who's the new guy? Yeah, I don't think we had a lot of people watching when we did the introductions. This is Will.
Hello.
He's been here in Indy for a couple months now. He's been making cocktails, very good cocktails, I might add. And he's dipping his toe into the bourbon world after enjoying a lot of different scotches. So we're putting him through his paces with Daniel's nosing kit, 317 Bourbon on Instagram. So now... one of the things, I think there's a couple things that I really pick up in this that's worth going to the nosing kit for. First one, right off the bat, I get is corn. And these notes, now this is interesting because some of these they just kind of look like the thing that you're supposed to smell. But the corn is just clear.
I think it's like corn syrup? Or?
It could be corn syrup. It could be corn liquor. So smell that. I get sort of a buttered corn on that.
Oh, I definitely see that. Like, that reminds me of, like, those buttered popcorn jelly beans. Like,
Yeah.
I hated them, but I love the smell.
Yeah, I'd be curious what he's using for this one. I don't know what Daniel made the corn one out of. I mean, it definitely smells like corn. But it smells like buttered popcorn.
Yeah.
So, now I really want to taste it, and that's a terrible idea. So I'm not going to taste what's in the nosing.
Maybe the end of the stream.
That's a late night thing. But I will say this does not smell like that at all.
Yeah. It smells like bourbon.
Yeah.
That's one of the few things that I did on my own. My cat next to bourbon, next to scotch,
Yeah.
to figure out what that corn is. And I'm getting a baking spice. Like I'd say allspice.
Yeah, see, this is definitely a good baking spice exploration pour. Now, for people who didn't see, this is what we're drinking, the Starlight single barrel bourbon. This is the 2020 pick from Bourbon World, aka Vine and Table. And this one has tons of baking spice. I always feel like it goes like ginger and nutmeg. I don't see ginger in this nosing kit, unfortunately, which makes me sad. So, those keeping track at home, there he is. Howdy, 317 Bourbon's in the chat. What's up, man?
Thank you for this kit.
Yeah, appreciate the kit, Daniel. Thank you, sir.
Now I'm interested in you.
Now that is straight up nutmeg for sure.
That's great. I think I smell that resemblance.
Do you?
Yeah. You know, you've been doing this obviously a long time, compared to me at least. I'm curious how you can tell apart, because when I think baking spices, it's hard for me to tell allspice versus nutmeg versus clove.
I mean, it just takes time. You just have to smell it a lot, compare it a lot.
Because right now, I would guess I don't really smell clove, but cinnamon, allspice, nutmeg, potentially for me. But I really don't know if I'm just guessing at that point.
It looks like 317 said it's new make. That's what's in the corn. Okay, that makes sense.
See, this smells like the whiskey that I like.
Now, see, what is going on? We have audio, but we don't have video.
Right now, people should be able to hear us?
They should be able to hear us, but they can't see us.
Oh, no.
What the hell is going on? Oh, man. Okay. Yeah, things are going great. What the hell? Yes, that's the right one. Why are you being like this? They can hear us. I'm glad they can hear us. All right, I'm going to restart it again. We'll be gone for a little bit. All right. Now, I can see that we've got audio, and I can see we've got video. Okay. There we go. This may happen again. I don't know what's going on with this. Been having a lot more problems with these streams lately, and I'm not really sure why. But when it goes out, we'll just reset it. If you guys are watching and you see us freeze or disappear, don't worry. I can tell, and we'll fix it as soon as possible. But, okay, back where we were. Yeah, so we were talking about nutmeg. I definitely get the nutmeg in this, although it's subtle. The regular nutmeg powder is very strong.
Yeah.
So if you hold your nose pretty far away from it, then you can kind of get it. This has, you know what? This has a really, like, sticky sweet thing going on.
I was thinking, like, butterscotchy caramel.
Yeah. So there is a butterscotch one. I'm going to grab something. Why don't you go ahead and open up that butterscotch one and give it a nose.
Sounds good. Oh, yep. It's like they bought that Nestle Toll House butterscotch chips. I like that. I do like having them side by side. Really helps you investigate a little bit better.
It really does. It's a great way to get a better sense of what's going on.
Yeah. Because what I think is butterscotch, and then when I smell real butterscotch, it's a little bit different.
Oh, yeah. Is that Anam Abbasi? Is that how you say that?
Yeah, Anam Abbasi. Yeah.
Anam Abbasi.
We went to residency together.
Hi, Anam. What are those on your wall? Whiskey and frames? Yes. So those are actually kind of fun. There was a Old Forester event a couple years back, and they were handing out those little cards that you see on the wall. And they were just little free giveaway things, just so everybody got one. And so I went around to everybody who I knew wasn't going to keep it, and I was like, can I have that? Can I have that? Can I have that? And I collected all 10 of them. I think there's 9 or 10.
8?
Whatever. Some number. I collected all of them and framed them. So that was fun. 317 said, good call on the ginger. Take that as a future edition. I got some ginger. That was something I just grabbed. Oh! And got it everywhere.
Oh, wow.
See?
That's like...
Now, this is, to me, like a combo of ginger and nutmeg.
I can see that.
And this is butterscotch you got here.
Like...
Oh, the little butterscotch pieces.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I wasn't remembering how sharp ginger...
Oh, yeah. Ginger is sharper than you'd think.
Yeah.
Bourbon Baller just joined the stream. What up, Baller? Yeah, so this is Will. He is just into town for a couple months after leaving Indy to wander the world and
from
explore.
Indy, left, I moved back.
He explored the world.
Just a little bit.
And he makes delicious cocktails. He has been in the Scotch world, but he's wanting to get into bourbon more, so I'm trying to be his bourbon Sherpa.
Yeah. And what a collection to be my Sherpa.
Bourbon Baller's got me beat, but this is a good start. So, that's interesting. I'm not getting as much of this as I expected on the nose.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Like I said, it's what I mentally thought of as butterscotch, but then when I smelled real butterscotch, it wasn't what I thought it was.
Yeah. The nose on the kit is a little bit weak, but I think it's only because we've been smelling such strong notes. The ginger and the nutmeg really come in hot, and so this relatively subtle butterscotch is hard to pick up.
Well, I had a wise friend tell me a reset rule.
Hey, there you go. Yeah, smell your elbow. Smell the inside of your elbow to reset your nose.
Oh,
yeah.
You know what?
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, wow, okay. So what I was thinking of butterscotch is actually closer to brown sugar.
Okay, let me before you close that up here. Yeah, this is like straight up holiday cookies. It's brown sugar, nutmeg, cinnamon. I mean, this is straight up like what you'd put in your cookies.
Yeah.
Sounds the Spice Pro says Bourbon Baller. Yeah, tonight.
Is there anything like molasses in the kit?
Nathan, there's brown sugar in the kit. Yeah, and brown sugar is just sugar and molasses.
Yeah.
Which is definitely what I'm picking up here. Yeah, brown sugar, ginger. When I was telling people about this pour, I would always tell them it reminds me of gingerbread cookies. Mm-hmm. And that makes total sense. Brown sugar, ginger, cinnamon. Let's open the clove. You had mentioned clove. I don't think this is really clovey, but we got some ground clove in here, which again is very strong. So distance from the nose is going to be your friend here. Now I don't get much clove on this, but maybe you will.
I wish there was clove in here. I love clove. Yeah, I mean, I kind of feel like I feel like ginger and brown sugar together can kind of mimic clove in some ways.
I think the clove and the nutmeg are going to be very similar.
Yeah.
If you're just taking shots to the head like this.
I honestly feel like I do smell.
Go to the nutmeg, and then go to the clove, and then smell the whiskey. Because you got the nutmeg, I think, and that's the clove.
Oh, that's hard to tell the difference.
Yeah, I mean, I think there could be some of both in there.
Yeah, that's really
for sure.
Difference.
But it's subtle, but I think it's there. All right. Bourbon Baller asks what whiskey we're drinking. We are drinking Starlight here in Indiana. Their bourbon 2020 select from Vine and Table. We're going to sit back and enjoy this whiskey for a minute. Clear our noses out. Clear my nose out. My nose is Full of ginger powder, I think.
There are 4 others that I still want to.
We got more than one pour too. We've got other whiskeys.
Yeah. But like when you talk about all these smells
Mm-hmm.
and notes from this, other common ones, I want to see if they're there or rule out, are like caramel, toffee, vanilla, and maple.
Well, I think we already did the caramel. No, we did butterscotch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. These little caramel balls. Caramel. Nose it, said Matt. We're nosing hard, brother. Yeah, Bourbon Baller. I'm a big fan of the Starlight stuff.
That's a good.
Now this one is throwing me off.
That's caramel. Straight to the. Yeah, it's hard to smell that, huh?
I'm just kind of mashing it now.
Yeah, just trying to smell it from the plastic. I can't really get a note from it.
Yeah, I think... Now, I do think that caramel is not a particularly strong note. I think a lot of people think of butterscotch when they're saying caramel.
Okay.
But I do think... I mean, part of what Daniel asked me to do... 317 Bourbon in the chat. He wanted me to review this nosing kit, so I'm giving him the good and the bad. I think the caramel and the butterscotch are pretty hard to pick up notes on. I'm not sure that I've got a good solution to that with the butterscotch. Maybe like a Werther's, but the caramel, I think there are soft, like gooier caramels. These are definitely convenient, but I'm not sure they're gooey enough. And that could also be an issue of just not giving off enough over time. There's going to be degradation to the notes of the nose. Some things keep a lot more strongly than others. Those baking spices are just really going to show up. Yeah, so I think the caramel is one that might need some adjustments. What do you got there? Toffee? All right, let's go in on the toffee. Yeah, I mean, the whole point of tonight really is I wanted to go through this and get a sense of what you can get from a nosing kit like this. This is something that's there are some crazy expensive nosing kits out there, and I think it's worth people paying attention to those compared to something like this. This is a local friend. He's here in Indianapolis. He's making his own bourbon nosing kits, and he's selling them for, all right, these are $50 is what they're going for. And, I've seen bourbon nosing kits for 5 times that amount.
The toffee also reminds me a little bit of a nuttiness. I'm not really getting like the sweet I was expecting. Maybe I don't eat enough toffee, but I thought I did. Tastes like toffee?
It's very nutty, but yeah. I think toffee is nuttier than people assume it is. I mean, I don't really know what defines toffee. I really shouldn't eat things out of this kit. Who knows? Who knows what 317 Bourbon's done to him? Just kidding, buddy. Yeah, I mean, toffee is caramelized molasses, butter, and sugar. While being prepared, toffee is sometimes mixed with nuts or raisins. I think people, when they're thinking of toffee...
I'm just thinking about the caramelized sugar part.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, molasses and butter and flour, I mean, that's not going to be very different from brown sugar.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be creamier brown sugar.
Yeah.
And so I think this is an interesting one where I actually think the fact that it's not pure toffee is a feature, not a bug. Because when people think toffee, what they're actually probably thinking about is some sort of nutty toffee.
Okay.
They're not thinking of straight toffee. At least that would be my guess. Certainly when I think of toffee, I think of a nutty toffee. Now this is vanilla extract, it looks like.
Yeah, it smells like it. And once I did that side by side, I smell like there's vanilla in here.
Oh, yeah. Matt says his kit has a caramel cube. Yeah, he said it helped to cut it into smaller pieces. Yeah, and that's the thing is these caramel pieces were actually already cut up smaller, and I kind of mushed one. So maybe it's just that particular brand, hard to say. Now, the one downside of having vanilla like this, and this is one of those things where, like, on a small scale, it's just going to be impractical, you know. 317's trying to make these things. Why is that not sealing up? 317's trying to make these kits something that, you know, people can get their hands on and that are more accessible than these, like, $250 kits. So the problem with just having vanilla extract, though, is that there's a lot of different kinds of vanilla. You can get vanilla extract, you can get vanilla bean, you can get sort of a more, like almost an herbal vanilla. And you're not going to get all those notes from the vanilla extract. But I think that's the most common note. And if you're going to do a kit with 25 or 30 notes, you really have to find places to narrow down. And that's one of them. Bourbon Baller's eating good, it sounds like. Bourbon and lobster ravioli. So this is honey? No, what is this? Maple.
Which, I can kind of see that here.
Just got it on my nose.
But there are so many other flavors that are like similar to maple. Because this is just like sweetness.
I don't get very much maple on that, personally. The sweetness, maple has that like sort of particular tinge to it. And I just don't get that from the Starlight.
I would be happy to just drink this maple.
Just drink the maple syrup.
Yeah. Do we know what kind of maple syrup this is? 317?
I assume it's just maple syrup instead of sugar.
Is it like the kind that comes in the plastic bottles, or is it like the
dark amber? Are you asking is it artisanal maple syrup?
Yes.
What was the name of the tree where this maple was pulled from?
Is that those Cracker Barrel little dark amber syrups?
Was this ethically sourced? Is this vegan maple syrup?
Cool. Okay. Well, I think that was very helpful.
Yeah. Let's check another one here. So given some of the things that we haven't dug into, we haven't dug in much into the leather, the coffee, the tobacco. I think I'm going to go for a Russell's Reserve here.
Whew. Oh yeah, there's that Kentucky hug.
We haven't even gotten to the hugging ones.
Yep. Sometimes it's the speed, not the...
Oh yeah, that's for sure. That's definitely true. Where's my...
I love this rye, just because...
Oh, the rye grain in there?
Unless I'm eating rye bread, I can't really think about what rye tastes like.
Let me smell it.
It reminds me of something else, too.
Maple syrup from a tree in Vermont. Bourbon Bar says. And 317 says it's not artisanal. Oh, God! Oh, no!
Got a little too close?
Oh, no, he got up! Oh! Oh, God!
So, I would recommend adding a caution sticker on your kits.
I legitimately just did a line of rye. Oh, man. Wow.
I'm going to try not to do what you just did.
Yeah, don't do a line of rye. Don't do a key bump of rye. Good Lord. Okay. That was unexpected.
What's this remind?
Oh, man. Okay. I
don't think I...
Is there any powder on my nose? It looked like I'm gonna get demonetized for doing bumps.
Oh, you know why some of these don't screw down? I think it's because he has like a special coating for the liquid ones to make sure they don't leak out. So that's why they don't close all the way down.
Look at you paying attention.
I try the details.
Did you smell the rye instead of snorting it?
I did.
That's good.
It was a good way of doing it. I recommend it.
Yeah, I would recommend not doing. Oh, it's like up in there, bro. Ugh.
Well, you're going to be compromised the rest of the day.
I really am. Who knows how this nosing event is going to go.
I'm going to rinse my glass first.
Whew. That was smart. You should have rinsed your glass. I should have rinsed my glass. Now this smells way sweeter than I remember it smelling. Maybe it's because half of my nose is just full of straight rye grain, but... If you love content like this, please be sure to subscribe and like the video and click the bell for notifications. And if you feel very generous, please consider donating to the channel. You can donate with a super chat, and then I will converse with you. You can donate on Venmo, or you can donate on PayPal, and I will also converse with you. I'm pretty conversive with my chat already, but I'll make a point to say something special and kind about you if you donate. I will whisper sweet nothings into your bourbony ears.
You know, it's kind of fun to see how the sausage is made.
Is it?
Yeah.
You know, the really fancy streamers, they have like whole keypads where you can just press a
yeah.
button. Yeah. I thought once I get better with this streaming, so most streamers that I know that are in the bourbon world, they don't do OBS. OBS is like, it's like it's like Linux. You know, it's nobody uses it, but it's super powerful.
Okay.
And so if you know how to use it, you can do anything.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why I want to use it, because then I can do anything and pay no fees. It's all open source, so I can just do whatever I want with it. But there's a huge learning curve because it's not like StreamYard or something where you just press a button and then it works.
Yeah.
But there are ways around that. This thing really smells sweet. There's Nate. Look at Nate Cooper with the $1 super chat. Thank you so much, Nate. You are a generous and kind friend. Are you giving away a GTS tonight? Maybe next week. Yeah, no giveaways tonight.
I don't know.
But I will say, while I'm thinking about it, I'm not going to be having a live stream next week. I'm going to be out of town, but I will be releasing a video in its place. So there will be a video next week on Thursday.
I smell sweet, but I can't really say
It's super syrupy. Go back to that.
I've got cinnamon in my hand right now.
There might be a little cinnamon, but I'm blown away by how much syrup I'm getting. Where's the maple? God, that killed you to say something nice, didn't it? It really did, Nate. I can't imagine what would happen if I had to say, 5 or 10 more nice things to you.
Yeah. I'm just going back to the corn again because I really feel like...
Yeah, there's a corniness to this.
Right.
There's a corniness to this. My hands... I may have to go wash my hands. I don't think that they're giving off a smell, and I can't put my finger on it, but they're definitely giving off a smell. I'm going to go Dr. Scrub in here.
Throwing things off. Oh, wow, there's cedar in this kit. I've never even tried to see if that's a note. That's cool.
Oh yeah, cedar shows up in some stuff.
It's like pencil shavings of cedar, basically. It's surprisingly sweet smelling.
Well, I've definitely got whiskey with pencil shavings.
Now I'm checking my hands to make sure I'm not smelling my...
Okay. Good try, Nate says. Hey, if you ain't trying... We'll quick pour something bad in his glass.
Sorry, next time.
The delay in the chat saved me there. Does he have the nutty notes too?
Peanut is here.
Well, now I'm just smelling maple syrup.
Yeah, peanuts.
Ooh, man, this has got... You know what it is? This has got a fruitiness to it.
Oh, yeah.
That's one of the sad things about this kit, is that I don't see any fruit.
It'd probably be hard to do, though. Like, dried fruit is going to be different.
Yeah. Well, and that's what I was thinking, is like... I don't know how you do any kind of fruit for something like this. And so I don't fault 317 at all for not having fruit in the kit, because I don't know how you do it. I mean, I guess you could get like essence of orange and probably like lemons, like lemon peel.
You can do the citrus peels, but like when you want to do cherries or blueberries,
I guess you could juice them.
Yeah, how long is the juice gonna last?
I don't know.
Or jam them? That would last a while. But
still not very long.
Yeah.
I guess if you really wanted to, maybe you could make like fruit leather, because then it would last a long time without the problem of the liquidity. That's a real. I mean, part of the value of a kit like this is it's gonna be No, Bourbon Baller. Starlight is not sourced. They make their own products. Yeah, that's just going to jack the price way, way up to make fruit leather to put into these kits.
Yeah. You could have a separate small kit of like 6 of things that go bad.
Yeah, you could have like a refrigeration kit, like a kit to be refrigerated.
Yeah. And just
like an expansion pack.
Yeah. And just like when you know that you want to taste and smell some fruit notes, buy it. It'll be good for a week or so. And then you'll have to get a new one if you want to try it again.
Nate says, could you use the oil like an essential oil? Certainly there are some essential oils that would be good. That's another thing that could be worth adding. Lavender essential oil. And they have an essential oil for orange. I know that. So those are at least 2 that could fit into a kit like this.
You should be able to, people compound and make the like aromatic parts of fruits all the time.
Right.
Like you can just make the aromatic part of pear that people think of as pear. So I don't know how expensive it is to just purchase those.
Yeah, that's the other thing is, cost is definitely going to be a driving factor, and how much trouble it is. Like if you can just, that's why I'm thinking the essential oil is smart, because lavender and orange, I know specifically, you can just go buy those. And so if you know you're going to make a bunch of kits, you could buy it in bulk, and then, it would still be kind of expensive. Spearmint, I think there is a mint one in here. Did we see a mint one in there?
I have not. I don't see a mint one.
All right. I think mint is something that definitely should be added, because you can just take spearmint leaves or something. Well, but those go bad too, don't they?
Piece of gum?
Piece of gum? Yeah, sure.
Gum.
Spearmint gum. I think spearmint's a good one. We got cedar, said Nate. But yeah, I think orange, lemon, there are a lot of like extracts that you could probably use. But again, it's all about value versus completion. I don't know how valuable it is for something like lavender. Orange is sort of in the middle for me. I think mint would definitely be worth including some kind of way. It could be as simple as a piece of gum, like a spearmint gum, because those are those are constructed to smell like, and taste like mint.
Mm-hmm. I've never come across mint in my whiskey. Or not that I'm aware.
Well,
I feel like I'd pick up on that.
We might be able to take you down that road.
I don't know if I want that road.
This thing, I'm really surprised how fruity this is. I guess maybe look. Have you tasted it yet? I haven't tasted it yet.
I think I did, but I don't remember what it tastes like. That's what
So anybody wondering, this is a Russell's Reserve single barrel. It's from Cask and Cellar. They did a series of 3 picks. This is barrel 2 of 3. 2017 selection, Rickhouse D, floor 5, 612. Yeah.
I think it's worth investigating 317 Bourbon, a way of getting fruit in this kit, because that is a note that's it's hard for me to pick up. Even if it's thrown, like, what did I have at my house? Buffalo Trace.
Yeah.
A store pick. Well, even when it's shoved in my face.
Oh yeah, that was a very fruity store pick.
I taste sweetness, but I don't know that it's fruit. It's taken me time to think of that taste as fruit.
Yeah.
Because I think I'm just thinking of a different type of fruit.
Yeah. I think Daniel's going to get overwhelmed with suggestions. This is what you came for, though. 317, you gave me a kit. I'm going to give you suggestions, my brother. It's a great kit, though. As much as I'm suggesting things on it, this is super helpful. The price is right, $50. I mean, yeah, this is definitely worth getting if you're not ready to drop big money. Well, that was part of why I was glad you were able to come over, is because, we talked about you kind of dipping your toes into bourbon more. This kind of thing is really helpful.
Yeah.
When you want to get into that world.
And it's got some, things off the beaten path a little bit, like leather and tobacco.
Yeah.
It has cedar and oak, so if you're trying to pick out those
differentiate the woods.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool.
That's actually kind of a good idea to go. Where was the cedar? 317 says he appreciates the feedback. Oh, what is that? Little cedar chips?
Looks like somebody had a little cedar pencil and just did the shavings to sharpen.
God, I'm going to snort this too. I'm really trying not to.
That one should be harder for you to do.
Don't challenge me. No, not really cedar on this pour. It is just super sweet.
Yeah, which I like that in my whiskey.
I mean, this thing is frickin' like candy apple.
I'm interested in what you would change about this kit if you wanted to have a Scotch tasting kit. Are there notes that come up in Scotch more?
I would add burning tires and
salty
mermaids, wet fish, just char. Just put a piece of charcoal in one of them.
Now, I'd be interested in a bourbon that has a relatively high rye mash to know if I can pick up the rye in something that's not rye.
Mike McAllister, late to the show. Who is this guest? Last guest was horrible because it was Mike. Yeah, Pete, absolutely 317.
My name's Will. I'm from Indiana. Left for a few years. Moved back. I'm new to bourbon. Other than, the generic things you have in college.
Yeah.
I did get kind of deep into Scotch when I was...
Stare deeply into his eyes.
I got pretty deep into Scotch while I was in D.C. because I went to Jack Rose, which is one of those big names, and I unfortunately found out about it like 2 months before I was leaving.
Yeah.
So I went there 6 times in 2 months. And
perfect.
Tried to explore deep into Scotch.
I mean, if you guys are ever in the D.C. area, definitely go to Jack Rose.
It was great. And they had a guy who was like a whiskey sommelier, basically, like walking me through stuff. It was great. Iodine, interesting.
Yeah, iodine is definitely a good note.
For Scotch, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's funny that Nate says vomit because I have had vomit show up, but vomit is a note that tells you you've actually made a mistake in the distilling process. So I have a whiskey wheel somewhere. We were packing up, so this place is a fucking mess. I have a whiskey wheel that shows you like all of the normal notes and then some notes that shouldn't be there. And one of the common ones is butter. So if you smell a butteriness, often that means there was a problem with the process. Not all the time, but if it smells like movie theater butter, it means there was...
Kind of like this corn.
A little bit like that corn. It means the process didn't quite go as planned. But one of those notes is vomit, that acrid vomit. That means the distiller's brew, which is basically just beer, poorly made or not very tasty beer, wasn't made properly.
I see. I feel like you don't need a wheel to tell you that, but
no, you don't. But you can tell pretty faint hints of it too.
Unless they're trying to sell it like blue cheese,
Yeah. Well, and a lot of people like that buttery note from bourbon. I've seen people like buttered potato was a pick around here. Buttered popcorn was a pick around here. People name their picks like that. So, butteriness is not necessarily a bad note, but it does mean that the process didn't go the way it was quote unquote supposed to. It's a happy accident, if anything.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I kind of picked a Russell's pick to go more into the leather route, but this just doesn't have it.
Yeah, I'm not getting that. I'm gonna see what this tobacco smells like. You can also have a disclaimer on the kit. Please do not smoke the tobacco, or at your own risk, so you don't tell people what to do. But. Wow, tobacco smells nice. I don't want to assert good things about it.
Yeah, like high
it
quality.
nice.
Like as somebody who used to smoke a pipe, good tobacco actually smells quite good. Oh yeah,
it's sweet. I want to smell this leather. I know it's not in this Russell's Reserve, but it's just a cut piece of leather.
You might get a little bit of that tobacco in there. Yeah, I actually get some of that tobacco in this.
Oh. Well, once I took the leather out, you can really smell the leather.
I definitely get tobacco on that.
Yeah?
Russell's. Yeah. Do them side by side. It's not full of it, but it's there.
I could see it, but I feel like my nose has a lot of overlapping smells. I can see a lot of things, but don't know if that's actually what's there.
Well, and that's part of this process is like breaking down all those different notes and being able to smell through the sort of here's the cap. Sort of smell through all the different notes to find the more subtle note.
Yeah.
I mean, that just takes a lot of practice.
Yeah.
All right, where are we gonna go from here?
Something more leathery.
Let's go with a rye because we've got some rye stuff.
Yeah.
Let's go with an older rye. Do I have any older ryes?
Oh, you know, we might have to do a Scotch today because we have barley. But ooh, I'd be interested. This looks malted, right? It looks toasted. Or is it just straight barley? No, that's straight barley, isn't it?
I think that's straight.
It doesn't look like Golden Puffs.
No.
It'd be interesting.
That's another potential.
Have a malted one.
Yeah, add a malted one. That could work too. I'm getting a lot out of that.
I wonder if powdering that would make it stronger.
Oh yeah, it probably would. Oh, now I'm getting. Yeah. Rise. Here, I'll give you a good one. We're going to be drinking the Jack Daniel's Single Barrel Special Release Rye Whiskey. Now, this stuff is high proof, but it's a tasty one. There you go.
I smell also a little spice, but I don't know if it's the barley or my fingers.
This camera can't focus. There we go. All right, man, here we go.
I'm going to move this. Ooh. Add some water. Ooh.
Woo! Now this is a step up in proof, so this is going to be a little toasty. Just letting you know.
That'd be interesting to have different proofs of straight alcohol.
That would be, yeah.
60%.
Now I'm going to go right back to that rye grain.
This is a pretty bottle.
Yes, it is.
Whew, that's a nice bottle. Don't be fooled by bottles. I've bought many things that are not good just because of a pretty bottle. The inside that counts.
That's right. Well said.
Oh, I like the smell. Yeah, so based on the smell, I wouldn't think rye.
I cannot help but getting this rye grain up my nose. Maybe a less fine powder.
Just for
me. Because literally, if I put my nose up to it, and I just start to breathe in, it goes up my nose.
I think I still see some powder.
Yeah. It looks like I'm doing blow over here.
I'm getting some baking spices again.
Yeah.
That's back.
You want to smell the rye next to it?
Yeah.
Because it is a rye grain.
Mm-hmm.
This is a rye whiskey.
I feel confident that I'll get it on the palate, but
yeah, it's pretty subtle.
I'm curious how much of a corn bill there is.
I don't remember.
I would guess it's high.
I
hope I'm right because I feel confident about it. For how
it's 70% rye, 18% corn, 12% malted barley.
18 doesn't sound that high. Okay.
No, but the fact that it's only a 70% rye,
mm-hmm.
That's not nearly as high as some of them. I mean, there's a lot of 95.5 ryes out there, so that doesn't surprise me. Doesn't surprise me that it's not a 95.5. What's up?
Oh yeah, I think I can taste some rye.
We got Buddhas829 in the chat. How you doing, man? Love to see people that I haven't seen him in a while.
I feel like I like how rye smells, and I wish that the rye notes came out more in the liquid form. feel like something is.
Well, we might get like a 95.5 out here and get you some more umph to it.
But when I smell that, I think it reminds me of a Sazerac, and I think a Sazerac is designed to really bring out the best of a good rye whiskey. So
now, this I'm getting leather on.
Yeah,
for sure. It's like leather and cinnamon.
Yeah,
like leather and cinnamon.
And I feel like having this kit. Normally, it's like, oh, I smell the things I know I smell, or I don't know what I'm smelling.
Exactly. Well, and that's the real value of a kit like this. Like, it's to force yourself to go, what is that actually? Is that what I think it is?
Yeah.
And I've actually got a couple of friends, shout out to Sean, who's part of the Drammers Club. I think he's the Drammers Chapter chair in Indianapolis. But he always says how he has a hard time finding leather. And I bet he would have a great time taking a freaking piece of leather and going, all right, let me smell it. Because I did not ever get leather in this pour before until right now. And I think it's because I never had that side-by-side.
Yeah.
I always got the cinnamon and the baking spice, which is what you called out before. But when you put the leather right next to it, you can smell it. It becomes like leather and cinnamon.
Now I can't even ignore it. Now it's just like, I can still taste leather out of my mouth.
Absolutely.
Huh.
Yeah, man. These Jack Daniels, this is the single barrel. Here, hand me that bottle. This is the single barrel special barrel proof rye 2020 edition. These things are freaking amazing. When I bought this, there were a couple more I could have bought and I didn't. I wish I had shelf cleared this bottle. I should have bought every one of these I could because these are now like $300 or $400. And when I bought it, it was like $60.
You know, you never know what's going to happen.
Well, and the thing is, a lot of the Jack Daniel's stuff, I'm pretty lukewarm on. And so I was like, I don't know how good this will be. But when I opened it, I immediately went, oh, shoot. I should have bought more of those. Because it's been good right from the neck pour.
I'm curious if you think allspice or nutmeg. I've got my answer.
All right. Show them to me.
There's your allspice. And here's your nutmeg.
All right. Here we go. All right. Ooh. Another trick, open your mouth while you're smelling. It'll allow you to taste more. Or what am I trying to say? If you open your mouth while you're breathing in through your nose, it will open up your taste pathways to the smells, and it'll actually make your nose more sensitive. That's what I'm trying to say.
I feel like I'm noticing that, but I don't know if it's placebo effect or not. But yeah.
Especially when you're smelling whiskey, it allows the ethanol to escape.
Oh, that's why. There are some things that are...
Damn it! Ugh. I don't know if you just need to like...
You see like a mesh guard to like put on top for the people who are more challenged?
Yeah. Yeah. 317, I need to not be able to shove this up my nose. I know you thought that was only a problem for small children. No. What am I fucking holding?
You were holding the nutmeg.
I think I get more clove, but I get both of them.
I was gonna say
this is not nutmeg. This is allspice.
It was nutmeg. You put it down and then picked up the allspice.
You said I had nutmeg and clove.
No, nutmeg or allspice.
Well, it's the allspice then. I smell more allspice.
For me, I thought nutmeg.
Yolanda is home.
Hello.
Hi.
You want to come say hi to the internet? No, she doesn't want to say hi to you guys.
So you get real confusing if you start putting the caps on the wrong ones of these.
Yeah. Everybody wants to see you. You're more popular than I am.
That might be true. But it's only because I give you shit all the time.
Yeah. Well, Will's learning already.
Oh yeah, the only way you can put up with this is if you give him shit the whole time.
How to pick up on that? Oh yeah, I have. I've done that a little bit.
Hi
We
everybody.
got a nosing kit.
How's that going?
It's going pretty well.
Even the vanilla extract?
Yeah.
Really?
What do you mean, really?
I assumed the vanilla extract would smell like alcohol because that's what it does.
No, it smells like vanilla. Here.
So is this beaver butt juice instead?
Yeah, it's the anal glands of a beaver. That's how they make fake vanilla.
Not for cooking, usually. It depends what they put in there. But for candles, yes.
Yeah, candles are fine.
I don't eat many candles.
Hi, Nate.
What do you smell in that? Now, after smelling that vanilla, I smell vanilla.
Mm.
I smell oranges.
Yeah, I get like a citrusy note for sure. When we were talking about, oh, do you know where that orange essential oil is? Or the lavender essential oil? Do you know where any other essential oils are?
No, but I know where orange marmalade and lavender is.
Where's that?
Well, I can get lavender flowers from upstairs. The marmalade is in the refrigerator.
Can you go back in the back room on top of the counter?
This is why I didn't want to come say hi. Because it never fails. I either get stuck here alone.
He's had that a couple of times.
I either get stuck here alone and just told entertain the internet without any. He's like, hey, can you come here? And then he just leaves me here. Or I get sent on missions to go get things for him.
Can you get the essential oils? I think they're on top of the wood thing. Thank you. I love you. Phone doctor says hi. She said hi back.
Yeah, the most important smell is, do I like it? Yes or no?
I like this one.
Me too.
I like this more than when I first opened it. This bottle's about half empty, and it's been sitting like that for maybe 6 months, and this has opened up beautifully.
That one?
Oh, I thought we were tasting something different. Never mind.
No.
This smells like it always has, and it smells freaking delicious.
We've moved on from the Russells.
Yeah, the Russells was really good. But
yeah, I mean, I never thought anything special about Jack Daniels, but I don't think I've ever had anything other than their,
their special releases are really good. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
Nice.
I will come with more things in a moment.
All right. So we got sweet orange. Oh, where's Nate? Where is Nate? Geranium. Geranium, Nate. Nate always gives me shit because I find geranium as a note in things. And he's like, that's not a real note. It's a fucking real note, Nate. Geranium.
I'm going to smell the geranium.
We got sweet orange. We got lemon. We got rosemary, eucalyptus, peppermint.
Ooh, Jesus. Oh, I owned a liquor that has geranium in it, and it smells just like that. And I actually gave it away for free because I did not like it. It's a yellow color. Suze, I think, is the name of the alcohol.
Oh yeah.
This is less contained, but it's lavender in a bag. My mom has it growing in her garden, so we ended up with a bunch of it.
Oh, you know what? Actually, Suze has gingin in it, not geranium, but they smell
This smells
similar.
nice.
Yeah.
Nate says fuck geranium. Ironically, we don't have lavender as an essential oil, even though it's one of the most common ones.
Yeah.
Now, Yolanda said she smelled orange in this.
Ooh.
Is that the orange?
That is the orange. I won't put it on all the way. I definitely... Some things you only see after somebody tells you.
I don't get it. I don't get orange on that. I'm sorry. Yolanda's full of crap. I don't get it.
We're all full of crap sometimes.
From the other room, I can hear that. Although I will say, like, this is an absolutely perfect
Here's
orange.
my argument. The sweet orange smells more like orange blossoms. This is marmalade. It's going to smell more like an actual orange.
That smells like an orange. Orange.
It's not really... I'm afraid I'm going to snort it like you've been snorting things if I get too close. But it's hard to smell.
Yeah, I don't get anything out of that.
I'm sure it tastes more like real orange, but it's hard to smell it.
It tastes more bitter than it does. Because...
I'm not getting anything.
We'll soon
Okay, well, I failed.
You didn't fail. The marmalade failed.
The marmalade did fail.
Now she's just eating marmalade out of a glass.
Get the red breast 27.
Nate wants me to get out the good stuff.
I'm leaving now. Goodbye.
All right, bye.
Goodbye, Internet.
Come say goodbye to the internet.
Goodbye, Internet.
No, come here. Come give me a hug. Ah! Don't drop the bottles.
Oh, please.
What is happening?
Goodbye, Internet.
Bye, baby. Have fun. Slapping my bald head. Okay.
I mean, I'm not gonna.
This just smells like. Anyway.
I'm not gonna argue against Nate.
I still want to find something that gives me that tobacco and leather. What would give us like leather, tobacco? I've got a plan for oak and peanut.
You've had me taste a peanut before. It's a purple bottle, right? Don't remember?
Yeah, I don't know.
Do you have tobacco?
Yep.
Yeah, we got tobacco.
Oh. Are you trying to taste everything to match up things with the...
Yeah.
With the kit. Yeah.
Chocolat.
I don't think you have anything that's really leathery.
Well, we just found some leather in this bottle.
Yeah, we did find leather that we
know.
didn't before get in this bottle.
But there are some that are just like straight leather.
Mm.
We found tobacco in the Rust Bowl, so I guess we have hit those kind of.
We haven't hit licorice yet.
Yeah,
Or
licorice.
peanut.
Peanut, I know what I'm doing for peanut. Peanut, I got in the bag. Oh.
And then the cedar wood.
Hmm.
And black pepper. I don't know if I ever really taste black pepper. Sometimes I just feel
Oh,
like
I always get it on
I
the
feel like there's a
finish.
spice. Like a burn a little bit.
Man, what will have this in it? What will have black licorice?
This black pepper really makes me want to go home and have something meaty.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gonna find a steak late at night.
Doesn't like those high quality late night steaks. I mean, man, what do I have that's got licorice in it? Shoot. I don't care for that note very much. So it's not one I'll readily keep.
I think
on
this
the
is
shelf.
this is a piece of candied black licorice.
It is.
I feel like a star anise might be like a stronger smell in that realm. I realize it's not licorice, it's anise. But wait, actually, I think licorice gets its flavor from anise.
It does.
Yeah, so I think like a
They're
dry...
different parts of the same plant.
I feel like it'd be stronger. Trying to smell the licorice off of this candy is not that strong.
Hold on, I got you.
Do not inhale the pepper, 317 Bourbon says. Okay, he's gone, guys. What am I putting in his glass? Oh, he's back. Yeah, like the anise definitely more easily is something you can smell. So that could be an option. Just using this, but yeah.
Oh, we wanted something that was oaky.
Or cedary. I've never said cedar in my life in anything I drink.
Well, we might bring out some big guns here.
Oh, I think I see the peanut you're thinking of.
Which one?
Isn't that the one that you brought over?
That is a good one, but that wasn't what I was
That's not what
thinking.
you're thinking of. Okay.
No.
I just remember that one. I was like, oh yeah, that tastes a lot like peanut.
Jaegers. We're not doing Jaeger. Okay. So this is definitely you're getting some special treats
Oh
tonight.
wow.
This is the Old Forester 150th anniversary. Special pour.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Has it been opened before?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I'm not that special.
You're not that special.
Wow.
So yeah, this is a rare bottle.
Gotta take my time with this.
Yeah, this is worth sipping slow. But this one gives me nuttiness and oakiness.
I'd pour myself more if I didn't have to go to work tomorrow.
Yeah, I gotta go to work tomorrow too. I'm used to it now. You develop, I don't want to say it's tolerance, but you become, I am very good at scheduling my days so that what I am doing on Friday morning is not critical. I know you have less ability to do that.
Yep.
Bourbon Baller says, what about Sambuca? We're drinking bourbon, man. Come on, Bourbon Baller. All right off the bat, geranium.
You what? Are you kidding or serious?
I'm mostly kidding.
Mostly.
Yeah, I'm mostly joking.
I think my nose is broken because I can always smell baking spices. Probably even when they're not there.
That's a super common note in bourbon. But
am I getting a leather again or no?
Yeah, there's probably a leather in this.
It smells different.
There's ginger in this for sure.
Yeah.
Ginger.
Ginger definitely would be helpful in the kit. I can see that. I think it might be maybe brown sugar. And now I'm realizing that when I say butterscotch, I usually mean brown sugar, so I'm trying to just say brown sugar. Actually, yeah, I think it
There is a little bit of licorice in this, actually. Bourbon Boss that you said
licorice?
Yeah, just a touch. It's pretty subtle, but it's definitely there. Oh, this is insane. But the things I wanted to look for, the cedar and the oak, because I have a sneaking suspicion this is going to have one or both of them in it.
Oh, man.
It's good whiskey.
Yeah. I feel like some of the really good smooth whiskeys I can't put words to.
They're very complex, and it becomes like if you start to try to break them down, you kind of go down like a crazy rabbit hole.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's probably like 30 notes in this tasting wise, and so that becomes overwhelming, and it does become hard to describe. That's a problem I always have with the Pappy Van Winkle. Like when I have the 15-year Pappy, I'm always like, how do I describe this?
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is another thing that's worth noting, is that what he's got in here for oak is now in my lap. Looks like some sort of wood shaving. And it's definitely oak, but, you know, a lot of times oak doesn't present as dry oak. It presents as a wet oak. It presents as something more like that.
Yeah, it's like, I feel very confident about tasting oak.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really getting what I taste as oak as this scent.
Right. And part of that's because it's a drier oak. Now, I'm not sure how you replicate that deeper oak. Maybe it's just an older piece of oak. You find like an old oak tree in the woods or something that's like half decomposing. I don't know.
I don't know either, yeah. And if you're going to do a Scotch version of this, you're going to definitely need some like sherry.
Yeah.
All those other different types of.
Well, then you're getting into the dark fruits.
Yeah.
Bourbon Baller describes Pappy as sweet unicorn tears. I feel like that's pretty accurate.
Don't know that I've had unicorn tears.
Is there coffee in this? There might be coffee in this. Yeah, I get coffee in this. It's subtle.
Yeah, the coffee should be smelled from far away.
Yeah. Again, this is the batch 2 of 3 Old Forester 150th. I mean, this is a really solid.
I'd perhaps get some coffee. Yeah.
It's pretty subtle.
Yeah.
But I think it's in there.
Yeah.
Can you hand me my phone? Don't forget, guys, you can donate. Venmo at the Drink Pro, PayPal at the Drink Pro. I will shout you out and say something. That's what I'm about to check for, is see if anybody sent me money. And if you did, I will shout you out and say something very nice. There's the old fashioned that Nate made.
Looks great.
Looks great. Look at that. Camera won't
Now,
focus.
did you use a sugar cube or did you use simple syrup? There's not a wrong answer. Some people might say
There is a wrong answer.
Well, they're different.
Don't let him be nice.
No. I mean that honestly. I'll tell you if it's a wrong answer.
Yeah, tell
they're different.
Go into this. What is different about
And classically, it's always the sugar cube.
Right.
And, I've heard from one of the people I watch on YouTube that he likes the sugar cube because the drink itself evolves as you drink it. Because as much as you stir it, the sugar is going to settle.
Mm-hmm.
So you start with a stiff drink, and as you get towards the end, you end with a nice sweetness that gets you ready for your next drink.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that. If you want a drink that's constantly evolving while you're drinking it, use the sugar cube. But if you want consistency, you want the same flavor from beginning to end, you should use simple syrup. So it really depends on what you want. I've gone both ways.
Wise words. Shit, what's my password? Fuck.
Don't say it out loud. Where's the coffee top? Thank you.
Of course, my password is incorrect. Oh, I see what I did. Damn it. Well, I really thought that was the password, so we'll have to figure that out later.
I really love this Glencairn glass. I drink and I know things.
Yep, that's a whiskey group.
That's not going to show up on this.
No, that is a whiskey group. I should add you to that group. You'd get a kick out of those guys. Yeah, it's a fun group to be in. Are you on Facebook?
Yep.
Yeah.
I really only use it for Messenger for friends to get ready to do things, but yeah.
Yeah, that's mostly what I use it for. But that group's a good group of people to know.
Cool.
Now my hands smell like geranium.
What's this one?
Eucalyptus.
Oh.
We'll get a 95.5 rye to get some of these minty notes.
Whew, jeez.
Which one was that?
That was geranium. It's like, yeah, no.
Nice stream, Will. Hello from Richmond.
Oh!
Michael Farabee?
Michael Farabee is actually Anoma Bassi's husband.
Oh, very nice.
It's actually the Drink Pros stream. I'm just the visitor. But yeah.
We're glad to have him here, though. He's bringing people into the stream. What else? What more could I ask for?
We had a few escapades into drinking. So, and I know that he also does some cocktails at home.
Very nice.
I don't know if whiskey is his drink of choice or not, but I know that he likes it. So
we've got a couple hundred over here. No, this is. I mean, what's interesting to me is that on the nose, I don't get nearly as much wood out of this as I do on the palate.
Yeah.
This has a very oaky flavor, but on the nose, it's not. It's like you said, it's mostly baking spice. It's sweet. I do think there's a little bit of earthiness. You get a little bit of coffee, a little bit of allspice, maybe even a touch of licorice or leather. But
if somebody described those to me, I would like it, but I would think it wouldn't be my favorite. But it tastes good. It tastes better than that description.
Yeah, I feel like
just because of how strong some of them are, how subtle some of them are.
Right, and it's layered very well. Yeah. I think the oak is a sticking point for me in this kit. I'm not sure what to do about it though. Yeah, it needs something, but I can't put my finger on it. Thanks, Michael.
I'm curious if. I feel like when I walk through Home Depot, like the lumberyard, I feel like I smell more wood than these shavings. I wonder if a tiny block of oak would be stronger enough.
Maybe a tiny block of oak would be stronger. That's a good point.
Maybe you need to get it wet, but then it might mold, so you don't really want that.
Well, I think the other thing too is if you go to the wood, you don't want treated lumber because that will change the odor.
Yep, that's for sure.
So you'd need untreated oak, which may be harder to access. And the thing with the cedar I think is a lot closer. I mean, that smells like cedar chips. That's much more like in line with what I think of when I think of cedar.
Cedar is like sweeter than I thought.
Yeah, it's a sweeter smell for sure.
Cool. It's almost got like a cinnaminess to it.
Cinnamoniness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
It's got that. Yeah, it's an more herbal wood.
That's cool. And you learn something new about some smells.
Yeah. That's good. Yeah, the oak could use a little bit of playing with. We may have to take a turn on this stream.
What do you mean?
We'll give you no other context than that. Just let's get new glasses. Let's put those glasses over there.
But I drink and I know things.
I'll give you another I drink and I know things glass. Here you go.
Okay.
This is the second version.
Oh, the back is.
That was the first version. This is the second version. This is the version that I made.
Okay. I like it.
With the dragon. I still have some of these for sale if you want them. All right, we're gonna take a turn. Hopefully not for the worst. Although we're coming from a real freaking hitter to something more experimental. So I'm gonna take off this. This is Method and Madness. This is something that's difficult to get your hands on in the States. It is from Middleton Distillery in Ireland. They actually, in Middleton, have their own separate experimental distillery inside of Middleton, and that's who makes Method and Madness. So it's got the funding of a big, fancy distillery like Middleton, but the experimental spirit of a lot of the smaller distilleries. Now, part of why I'm bringing this in is because it's got some of those grain notes that are in here that I think are worth looking at again. The rye and the corn, some of that graininess. And the wheat. We haven't really dug into the wheat. And although this is 100% malted barley, this should have a wheaty note to it. The other thing I'm looking for in this is I expect this to have some of those other notes we haven't dug into very much. With the oak, with the floral notes, and with maybe even the minty notes. We'll see.
That wheat is... it's a very...
I did just bust out the Irish bourbon baller.
That note is very strong and specific. I didn't realize wheat had such a specific smell. I feel like, in hindsight,
Damn it! Oh, God! What the hell, man?
In hindsight, I feel like I've had a lot of wheat notes in whiskeys that I drank and did not realize it. Oh, God. Man, okay, yeah, if you could child-proof these.
Daniel, you gotta put little filters on them for stupid people.
Ooh, I'm just getting like alcohol. It's a pretty low percent. Why am I not getting other notes? Something sweet is in there. Oh, I think I'm getting leather and just didn't realize it before.
Yeah, this is definitely like new leather.
Yeah.
Yeah, here, let me see that. Oh, yeah. Like brand new leather. Yeah, definitely getting that on this.
The leather is helpful.
The leather is one of the most helpful ones, honestly. Like that's a super helpful, because it's a hard one to point out. That's not one people are super familiar with, many people in modern day.
Yeah.
So like they're not familiar with what leather smells like. You put that from like, oh, it's there. I'm going to come in on this cedar because I feel like this has a lot of like light, bright oak, and since these are lighter, brighter oak or wood versions,
I'm trying to pinpoint the sweet note.
Something else I find really fun from doing this experiment is like side-by-siding a specific note with the whiskey brings out other notes. So like when I compare, like when I put this cedar and then I smell this, I don't think there's very much cedar in this, but it really brings out something else. Here's a cedar.
Thank you.
For me, it really brings out almost like a strawberry or an apple. It brings
love
out
those fruit notes.
I do. I love the fruit notes. I am such a sucker for a fruit note. And I really get them on this.
Yeah, I really think if you can figure out the code to adding fruit notes to this kit, that would be the other very helpful thing.
Problem is, I know it's going to be expensive.
Yeah.
Because this sweet orange, this little tiny ass bottle is $10, and I don't know when this price tag is from.
I feel like more helpful would be like the stone fruits, cherries, like peaches, apricots, because those are the ones that when you pointed them out, I'm like, oh, I didn't realize that's what the sweet is coming from.
Bourbon Baller again, pushing for the Redbreast set 27. You know what? If I get, we'll break out the Redbreast 27 if I get, I don't know, $20 in super chats. $20 in super chats, and I'll break out the Redbreast 27.
And I've got a.
Or if Will sends me $20 right now.
We'll see how things go.
It's worth it.
I'm gonna probably check out in 30 minutes. So
you're not on call or anything, are you?
No. that would be unethical. But I do want to be able to wake up in the morning comfortable. Wow, I guess nobody wants me to try that Redbreast.
And I can't get my Venmo to work for some stupid reason.
Oh, so that's why. Yeah.
Here's this. Let me. I want to get that working. I need to be able to see if people have sent me money. That's just a problem.
And if they want to send it to me in the meantime.
Yeah.
Hold on to it. I'm having a problem pinpointing the sweetness. I don't think it's butterscotch. But man, just seeing these butterscotch chips makes me want to make some oatmeal scotchies.
Yeah. What is in an oatmeal scotchy?
If you buy a Nestle Toll House butterscotch bag, it's on the back.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's basically oatmeal cookies with butterscotch chips. A lot of butter.
That does sound good.
Mm-hmm. Anything with a lot of butter sounds good.
True. Also true.
I'm not drunk yet. Yeah, I'm trying to avoid that.
Will's gotta drive home. I mean, I guess he could sleep on the couch, but I feel like that's gonna make doctoring hard.
If this were a Friday, maybe it'd be a little different, but.
Oh, that's what I was doing wrong. There we go.
I think I am getting some butterscotch, actually.
On this board?
Yeah. I think that's actual butterscotch, not what I had always thought was butterscotch notes.
Let me see that butterscotch. All right. Oh, okay. Now where's the oak? Oops, sorry. Yeah, so when that's interesting. Maybe because we were on those baking spices and they were super subtle.
It was hard to smell the.
Yeah. But after going from the oak and the cedar and all these dark, deep notes, the sweetness of the butterscotch really comes out.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good to know. So the butterscotch is a lot deeper than I thought it was.
In terms of organizing, if you wanted, you could maybe try to organize it in order of
I think
what's more subtle.
Oh.
Into what's gonna knock out your nose for other things.
That's smart, and it would be a non-traditional organization of the scents.
Yeah, it'd be
because usually you're gonna put all the baking spices together, but you're right. Like if ginger is gonna be stronger than cinnamon, which is gonna be stronger than something.
Like the butterscotch should be towards the front. You want to smell that first.
Right.
Sounds like.
Where's that corn? I get corn on this, even though I know it's not corn.
Did you say this is supposed to be weedy? I think
Yeah. I don't know, man. This corn liquor just smells like buttered popcorn.
Yeah.
I feel like you might just need to put some ground cornmeal in here or something.
Yeah.
Cornmeal might be a better
Something, yeah.
corny note.
That's definitely not the note I'm thinking of when I think corn.
Yeah. I mean, it smells good, but it's just not what I think of when I smell corn.
Right.
Yeah, let me smell that. Is it the wheat?
Mm-hmm.
See, you're doing something. I'll let you do the thing. Oh, yeah.
I feel like I get that on the palate, but not so much on the smell, on the nose. I could be wrong.
Where's that barley? This is supposed to be 100% barley. No, it's not. It's a single grain. So this isn't barley. It's probably corn.
Oh. What's Irish whiskey usually? Corn? I've been in Scotch world for so long.
I think so. I think it can be barley too. Actually, no, I know it's barley. Most Irish is malted and unmalted barley because there was a tax on malted barley, and so the Irish started adding unmalted barley to lower their tax incidence.
Oh. I love when history comes into play with alcohol.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if I told you the story about I know you're not a big fan of Macallan necessarily compared to other things,
Sure.
but Macallan has a very special bottle. There are only a few left, and they go for tens of thousands of dollars because Macallan is a Speyside Scotch. It has a very specific notes. It's not very peaty, if peaty at all. But one year during World War II, all of what they usually use was being used for the relief, for the soldiers, for rations, so they couldn't use it for their alcohol that year. So then they had to use peat. So they have 1 year of very peaty Scotch that is unlike any of their other years.
They had to get the Scotch from somewhere that they were doing a peated drying process.
Yeah. So because of its uniqueness, it's a marker of how significant time for them, and also it's just something that you'll never see from them again. Knock on wood.
Yeah, if you see it from them again, that probably means there's a problem.
That's also fun history about the Sazerac.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize this, but the original Sazerac, New Orleans, was made with cognac.
Mm-hmm.
These days, you always order it with rye.
Well, that's because there was a cognac shortage.
Exactly, because there was an outbreak of not locusts, but something like locusts in Europe that just wiped out cognac. So they had to come up with something new.
Yeah. Rye
whiskey took its place, and now everybody thinks rye is the original Sazerac.
Well, and they started making their own. They started importing their own rye. The original House of Sazerac brought in their own rye from the north.
Oh.
That became the rye to make Sazeracs. And
is that the brand Sazerac?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah. Now it's obviously owned. I mean, Sazerac is the parent company to still to this day.
Okay.
But it's changed hands a couple of times.
Gotcha.
All right. I've got one more for you. Excuse me. Unless we get $20 in super chats, that I don't think we're going to get. The Redbreast 27 will save for another day.
Sounds good.
Oh, I get the hiccups. They're really deep.
Yeah.
All right.
I like the wheat because I would not ever be able to pick out this note without having this.
We're going to go for Booker's 2020.
Whoop.
Dash. It's already cracked.
My favorite Sazerac Bourbon Baller is actually a mix of rye whiskey with cognac. Right now, I'm a Rittenhouse bottled and bonded person with some cognac. I also break the rules because I mix Angostura and Peychaud's bitters in mine. But hey, I like what I like.
Now this Granny's batch, I think this is probably going to have one note that really stands out that's in this kit. But I'm not going to.
Don't tell me. Yeah. Don't spoil me.
I didn't see this before. 317 said, "Do not inhale the pepper." Yeah, this is just inescapably one certain note.
I feel like I can guess what you're gonna say without even tasting it.
All right, what do you? Well,
We'll see.
smell it first.
Oh, I hope this isn't geranium.
No, it's not geranium.
But I got like a floral.
Although there is geranium in this.
I got a floralness.
You're right. I mean, we got geranium oil. There is a geranium in this for sure.
I'm surprised. I
had never gotten that before. I'd never noticed that before. At least not in recent memory.
Yeah, like I'm definitely getting a floral. I would never have said geranium without having that.
Right. Yeah, but that's definitely got geranium in it. Take that, Nate.
Okay. I thought this is going to be one of your peanut ones, but I don't smell it.
This is a peanut one.
Oh, okay.
Think peanut shells.
Yeah. Like when I go to Five Guys. Yeah.
Yeah. Now we've got peanut in here. It's one of the few we have not smelled. I think we've smelled everything but peanut. We haven't done chocolate.
Yeah. I haven't personally smelled the honey because I feel pretty confident about what honey smells like. But it's not really a strong smell, the honey. It's probably hard to like.
It's a subtle note actually.
I feel like I would have to taste it.
Smell that and then smell the whiskey.
I think when you say shells, I get it.
Yeah.
This is a little sweeter than the shells.
I definitely pick up the resemblance though with the.
I mean, it's right there when you taste it, though.
Yeah.
It's right there.
Yeah, it's super nutty. You know, that's actually something else that could be added to this. Would be almonds or walnuts. Those are nutty notes that I often get on the palate, but I think having them on the nose, or pistachios. There are some other nuts that stand out a little bit more than peanut, or stand out similarly in terms of being strong scents to peanut, but that people don't think about.
Yeah, I feel like, well, like we mentioned earlier, it depends on what you're going for. Is this like
oh yeah, absolutely,
an introductory kit, or are you trying to get in-depth everything?
Right. Yeah, definitely.
I like the bottle.
Oh yeah, it's a beautiful bottle.
Yeah. I usually don't like the ones that have a lot of wording that's hard to read, but this makes it work for me.
It just feels like handwritten or something.
Yeah. When I was going to Jack Rose with my friend, we would line up our 3 bottles and ask each other which we thought was the prettiest, the least pretty.
I'm glad you pointed that out, though. The geranium on that is often missed. That's not a note I would have ever associated with that, but when you do the oil right next to it, it's apparent. It's peanut shells and geranium.
Which doesn't sound like a good mix, but it's pretty
It works. It works. It's got a sweetness underlying all of that.
Mm-hmm. Which I cannot pinpoint, but... Method of Madness.
I mean, my instinct is it's honey. That honey is hard to pick up. Boop. All right, fuck it.
So I think we've worked out all of your warning stickers for this kit. Do not ingest. Do not inhale.
So what haven't I smelled or tasted yet?
I think we've played with all of them. We haven't had chocolate in the pour. Or
Chocolate.
black pepper.
Chocolate and black pepper. Well, black pepper comes up a lot. I mean, I get black pepper on this.
I get like a...
Yeah.
I feel like I have a lingering kind of peppery burn.
I get it on the nose.
I wouldn't say flavor. And the burn might just be whiskey.
If you breathe in hard, like you're huffing the whiskey, Then smell the pepper gently. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. I guess for me, like, it's hard to say is that black pepper or just alcohol, you know?
Well, a lot of alcohol gives you that black peppery note.
Yeah. Like
And
they smell similar, but yeah, I guess I would have always thought that's just the alcohol burn.
But it's not necessarily. It's
Yeah.
It's some of that is black pepper for sure. Just trying not to huff the whiskey.
Tried and failed. What was it that they said? Do not enter the pepper. You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. Oh,
Wow.
oh, that hurts a lot more than the fucking whatever it was. The wheat? What was the one I kept snorting?
Rye.
The rye. That hurts so much worse than the rye. Oh, it's way up there. Brian asked if olfactory fatigue has kicked in yet. Well, now it might.
I was feeling pretty good, and actually
317 baseball.
Later on in our tasting, some of the more subtle notes that we couldn't smell from the kit before, we could start to smell.
Yeah, that was actually maybe the most surprising thing was because we had this kit. I think this kit actually really helped avoid the fatigue because it forced you to like reestablish a baseline of different notes. And so you come in hot on one of the, cinnamon, clove, whatever, and then you try to go to something like butterscotch and it wasn't there. But if you reestablish your baseline with some of the much lighter flavors, your honey, your oak, your cedar, and then you go back to the butterscotch, you're like, oh, there's the sweetness, there's the creaminess. So I actually think the olfactory fatigue was easier to offset because we had all of these baselines to reestablish ourselves. And snorting black pepper or any grain is ill-advised. Oh, God. Yeah, so that happened. That's good whiskey, though. I will say, that's another bottle that has opened up pretty well now that it's about half gone. But I love that geranium note. I would have never, ever guessed that, but it's definitely there. I think Nate went to bed or he'd be complaining in the chat. But I don't care, Nate. You're wrong, Nate. You hear me? Yelling at you through the talkie picture box.
Yeah, I must be asleep.
Geranium's a real note, Nate. And it's and he loved this batch. Nate was freaking over the moon for Granny's batch. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Does your arm sniff work to reset? Yes, it does, Brian. We actually had to do that earlier. Mine just smells like sweat.
I showered recently, so I kind of smell like the soap.
Well, I showered recently too, but I spoil quickly. Is what I have discovered. Part of it is because I sweat so damn much. Yolanda's always like, why are you so sweaty? I'm like, because I'm alive right now. Like, that's just what my body does. It's September. It was August. Like, of course I'm sweaty.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, and please click that like button, and please click the bell for notifications. You should do it. Come on, go do it. I'll make it do it again. Go do it. I'm serious. Go do it. Thanks. Yeah. Shameless plugs. So what if we combine some of these notes? Oh, we didn't even look at the lemon. There's lemon note. What does the lemon smell like? Oh, is it like... There we go. Ooh, okay.
Smells like lemon.
It does. That's pretty good. That smells like lemon. Cassia?
Yeah, Aura Cassia?
Aura Cassia?
No,
Aura Cassia?
yeah, Cassia?
Come on. Aura Cassia. Whatever brand that is, they make a... Oh, here we go. They make a really mean... They make this is what it looks like when you've had too many whiskeys with the Drink Pro. There we go.
There you go.
They make a really mean, accurate fruity note. So 317, if you're looking for a bulk brand, reach out to these people and do it in bulk. Take off that price sticker. Put it on my.
That's a steal. Oh boy!
Look at you catching bottles.
Jeez.
Look at you go.
I saw its life flash before my eyes.
Those are impressive reflexes. I have dropped so many bottles on these streams.
Yeah, catching babies.
Yeah, that's right. He's out here catching babies. And I'm over here catching bottles, but he beat me to it. Call you Speedy. Oh, man. Well, when do you have to leave? Are you getting near the end of your...
Yeah, I think I'm going to head out.
All right.
Get a good night's sleep.
Yeah, that's a good plan. I might stick around for one more with these guys, but what's that brand again? 317 said. Aura Cassia. There you go. Aura Cassia. Auracacia. These are just really accurate. These really smell like orange. It really smells like lemon.
That smells like the lemon zest I put on my Sazerac.
Exactly. Like, this really smells like a lemon. And that orange, I was super impressed with that orange. Cheers, Brian. All right, Will's heading out.
Nice seeing everybody. Enjoy the rest of the night.
Good to see you, buddy.
Yeah, I'll see you around.
Have a good night.
Mm-hmm.
Stay safe. Make it home safe. Godspeed catching babies tomorrow.
Depending on how much sleep I get, I might help you out on Saturday.
All right. Well, if you're around, let me know, because I'm moving Saturday. I'm moving all this stuff. All these bottles, all those bottles. Yeah, it's all getting moved. All right. Have a good night, Will.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thanks for stopping by. If you need to turn the light on, it's over on the left wall. That's right. Nah, don't worry about locking it. Now it's just you and me. Now we're on the intimate part. The Drink Pro After Dark part. This is where things get a little sultry. Hold on, let me make it more sultry. Hold on. We're going to make it sultry. Yeah, get the lights down low. Not that low. Yeah, that's low enough, I guess. Brian says, have you tried any of the Nashville barrel whiskey? I have had a pour of it, but I haven't tried very much of it. I'd love to try some more. That is not one I've explored very closely. But yeah, I'm moving this weekend. If you're in the Patreon, you'll see some more updates about the moving process and about setting up my bourbon room. It's going to be a long, crazy process, but this has been a lot of fun. I'm really glad we were able to try all these different things, and I was glad to have Will over. Will is a good dude. He's developing his bourbon palate. I actually think this really helped him. And that was part of why, like I said before, part of why I wanted Will to show up was, he is relatively new to bourbon, relatively new to whiskey in general, but he's especially relatively new to bourbon. And so I'm thinking to myself, like, a bourbon nosing kit is absolutely perfect for them. And, so in my mind, like, if you're trying to get somebody a birthday present, if you're trying to get somebody a gift, especially somebody that's new into whiskey, they're just getting into it and they're excited about it, I mean, this is a fantastic thing to have. Like, this is a great gift for $50, absolutely worth it. And, I am pretty experienced with whiskey, and I still feel like it's definitely worth having. I mean, like I said, I've discovered a lot just going through this kit about where I can find tobacco and leather that I might not have seen before. Some of the more baking spice notes are always good to be able to side by side. But I think the ones that are more unique is is really where these kind of kits come into value. You know, a lot of people don't keep leather or tobacco. A lot of people don't keep barley or rye. A lot of people don't keep cedar in the house or corn. Or caramel for that matter. I mean, some people eat caramel occasionally, but they don't have caramel or butterscotch straight up to smell. I mean, these are definitely worthwhile. So, you know, below the video in the description, there's a link to 317 Bourbon, a variety of his social media channels. I think he's got a YouTube channel as well that's starting off. And there's also a link to where you can buy these kits. I know you can buy them a couple of different places, but he sent me the specific link. So, Brian, I see you mentioned the price point. Anybody else that wants to get one of these, I mean, I think it's worth $50 to, you know, have something like this on hand, especially when the competing kits that I've seen are so much more expensive. This is just absolutely like a fraction of the cost. So I really appreciate you providing me with this, Daniel. Thank you so much, man. It's really cool to have. I'm going to keep this. I'm going to keep playing with it. If I have any more suggestions in the future, I'll definitely reach out to you. I think it's a good thing to have. You know, always be tasting new things, always be exploring new flavors. And you know, I will say too, like I don't know if he does this with all his kits, and he can you know speak for himself. But this kit that I've got has these unused glasses in them. And assuming that he does keep those in these kits, I think that's a really cool thing to have, because if there's a specific note that you find a lot, or that you're trying to find, you can modify the kit yourself. And I think that's a great feature. Again, that's a feature, not a bug. It's not like, oh, you didn't fill this up. No, it is got room for you to grow the kit yourself. Honestly, if I knew a bunch of other people with these kits, what I would probably do is have all of us like pick 3 notes that are unusual, fill up the things, and then trade them. And get people used to notes that are much less common, but still in certain whiskeys. And try to pair it up with a certain whiskey and a certain note. Might have to explore that some. But, while I got you on, they all come that way, says 317. Okay, let's do one more pour. Then I'm going to go... what do I want to drink? Oh, I'd love to do something with some chocolate in it. What do I have that's got chocolate in it? I feel like the Woodford Double Oaked, if my memory... Yes, he is, Brian. He is in Indy. I feel like the Woodford Double Oaked had some chocolate, because that was the one thing I really didn't explore very much, so... Let's dig into that for a little bit. Oh, yeah. Okay, let's get that chocolate. Let's get that chocolate. I don't know what you call these. I want to call them like capsules. Oh, yeah. These must be like semi-sweet chocolate chips. Hold on, I'm just going to taste one. Probably shouldn't be tasting the things in these kits, but yeah. Semi-sweet chocolate. Oh, yeah. I like that. That's a good chocolate note, and definitely shows up on the Double Oaked. And the Double Oaked has a lot of other things in it, but the predominant note for me is the chocolate malt. I don't even think it necessarily has chocolate malt. It's just because they do that Double Oaked process, but the Double Oaking always brings out a chocolatiness for me. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. So yeah, I talked about this a little bit before, but I'm going to be off for a week next week. There will be new videos coming out, but I'm not going to be doing a live stream. Bourbon Box's Elijah Toasted has a s'mores flavor. I don't think I actually bought a bottle of Elijah Toasted. Yeah, I think somebody sent me a sample of Elijah Toasted, and I was not particularly impressed with it, honestly, but I did it. I do think it's good. It's just not impressive for the price. That was sort of my take on the Elijah Craig Toasted. Man, that Woodford Reserve is good. If anybody's got any last questions, throw them in the chat. I'm probably going to stay on for a little bit longer, but not too much longer. So if you got any questions, throw them in the chat. If you got any complaints, grievances, throw them in the chat. Whatever you want to throw in there. We'll be happy to talk about it. Happy to talk about it. Oh, yeah, tomorrow's going to be a fun day. Got to get everything packed up for the big move. We've got a lot of things packed up, but we've also got a lot more still to pack up. So it's going to be a busy day. But we'll get it done. We got to do it. But I'm really excited, guys. I mean, some of you have seen the new space, some of you haven't. It's going to be really nice. It's going to be a really great space to operate in. I've got a really fancy camera I'm going to have to learn how to use that I'm hoping to get set up for this process. That'd be really cool. So, yeah, it's going to be a good time. I'm going to go back to that cedar and that oak. So they definitely taste them. You know, double oaked, obviously, you're going to taste that oak. Paul Graham, $400 bottle of question mark? I don't know if I have a $400 bottle. The Redbreast 27 is a little bit more than that. But I didn't see those super chats, so I didn't get out the Redbreast 27. Paul says, any bottle worth that much money? Usually I would say no. The Redbreast 27, though, I mean, I put a lot of money out there for it. More than I've ever spent on any other bottle. And I think part of why I did that was because it was so unique. And it was really delicious. And it just hit me in all the right places in a way that nothing else I'd ever tried had. So, is it worth that much? I mean, I don't know. Is it twice as good as a lot of those $200 whiskeys that are out there? I'm not going to name any names, but there's a lot of companies that are releasing sourced whiskey at $200 a bottle and doing blending, things like that. Is it twice as good as that? Yes, it is. So, you know, are those bottles priced correctly or are they overpriced? That's a different conversation. But the market is telling me that that's and those bottles are selling out. So the market's saying those $200 bottles from those companies are worth it. Then the Redbreast 27 is worth it. Bourbon Baller believes there are a lot of bottles worth $400. I mean, you know, there's diminishing returns. So, you know, the difference between a $20 bottle and a $50 bottle is not as big as the difference between a 50 and a 70 or 80. And, you know, so on and so forth and so on and so forth. 317 says, overpriced, exclamation point. I mean, bourbon is having a moment, so there definitely could be some truth to that. But the Irish whiskey is not having the same kind of moment as bourbon is, although it's starting to grow more and more. Nonetheless, I do think that, you know, part of what you're paying for is the rarity. Part of what you're paying for is the age. The way that the taxes work on whiskey that's in barrels, you end up paying a lot more in tax for older whiskey, which is part of why it's more expensive. But yeah, I mean, I think there are in today's market, in the current marketplace, I do think there are whiskeys that are worth that. And part of that is because I've got a very sensitive palate. I think what things are worth is very, very subjective. That's a long, convoluted answer to your question, Paul. Yeah, the oak. So putting my nose into this oak and comparing it to the double oaked, I get a little bit more similarity. I think that's because this particular oak... Oh, shit. Damn it. This particular oak is the dry oak, and I think the double oak you get more of a dry oak note. Bourbon Baller says, I would say that Woodford Baccarat is the best that Woodford will ever put out. Unique, good age statement. Yeah, but the Woodford Baccarat was $2,000. The problem with the Woodford Baccarat, to me, and I've never had it. Maybe Bourbon Baller can hook me up. But the problem with the Woodford Baccarat to me is that it came in a crystal decanter, which jacked the price way up. Like, was it worth $2,000? Probably not, but they put it in some of the fanciest packaging I've ever seen. Now, I say that full well knowing that the Redbreast 27 is in this really nice wooden case, but freaking, Booker's is in a nice wooden case. Like, a nice wooden case doesn't add as much cost as a crystal decanter. So, I don't know. But I think there is a meaningful difference between $400 or $500 and $2,000. Old-fashioned copper or old fire copper from Buffalo Trace. That's their $2,000 price point bottle. It's hard for me to not say those are overpriced. When your MSRP is a couple of $1,000s, it's really hard for me to not say that's overpriced. The Redbreast, or not Redbreast, the Rabbit Hole special release they did, that was like $1,400. That has to be overpriced. There's just no way. Now, again, like I said, I've never tasted these, but if you're telling me that the Woodford Baccarat, for example, is 4 times better than the Redbreast 27, that's a bold statement. You got to be paying for the rarity and for the presentation and for the uniqueness. And I really try on this channel to focus on the juice. I don't always succeed. Sometimes I'm wowed by things that aren't the juice, but I really try to focus on, is this a good whiskey? And part of what drew me to the Redbreast 27 was the uniqueness of the whiskey. And so Bourbon Baller mentioned, the Woodford was super unique. I mean, that's a great thing. I think uniqueness is definitely worth paying for. It's just how much is it worth to you? Good question, though. Good conversation coming out of that. I say conversation, but it's really just me talking to the ether, shouting into a webcam. But yeah, it's interesting. There's a lot of apples and oranges, way different products. I mean, yeah, but if it's still bourbon, it's not. I don't necessarily feel like it's apples and oranges. I don't know. I mean, they're certainly marketing to different audiences. I'll give you that. They're trying to do different things. But worth it is, like I said before, it's such a subjective term. It's what are you trying to do? Is the presentation coming out of the Old Fire Copper and the Woodford Baccarat, I mean, those are putting on a show. That's the point. And that's why they're $2,000, is they put on a show. Are they good whiskeys? Oh, undoubtedly. But are they worth it? It depends on what you're trying to do. Paul says there's a lot of great cast strength bottles between $60 and $90. Oh, for sure. Absolutely there are. Shoot, man, this was one of them. This bottle has no business being as good as it is for, I think I paid $60 or $70 for it. It's got no business being as good as it is. Hell, Rare Breed has no business being as good as it is for $40, $50. But, are there cast strength bourbons above those price points that are just phenomenal? Yeah. It's hard to do it without a side-by-side. This is one of the reasons I really like doing blinds. Tasting your whiskey blind is really valuable to help clear out that element of things. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you're not going to buy it anyway. One of the things that we've talked about a lot on this channel I think Nate and Trevor are both not in the chat right now. Where are my moderators? Anyway, well, Trevor is still recovering. Hope he gets better. And Nate's just being a baby. But, you know, the first time we all got together, we did a blind tasting with some real hitter bottles. And the one that came in dead last place was the George T. Stagg. And then both of them ended up going and buying secondary a bottle of that George T. Stagg because they liked it so much later. And I think it was because of the context. It's all contextual. After this, my palate just doesn't pick up the differences. Well, and that's the thing, is that's actually more of a gift than a curse, Paul. Like, if your palate doesn't pick up the differences, then you can drink much more cheaply and enjoy yourself much more than somebody whose palate does pick up the differences. If you can taste the difference between a $200 and a $500 bottle, then you end up going, oh shit, I really wish I had that $500 bottle. That won't happen to you if you can't taste the difference. It's a double-edged sword to develop your palate into all those nuances. That can be a real problem because then you end up chasing expensive bottles. Which is not really something I like doing. But I do it. I end up doing it because I like the whiskey. Oh, man. All right. I thank you guys for joining me. Like I said, next week there will be no stream. We're just going to do another video, a bonus video. You guys can check me out on the Patreon, patreon.com/thedrinkpro. I'm going to have some more content going up there. I'm going to do a really fun side-by-side with the 1961 Old Granddad. That's what it is. I'm going to do a fun side-by-side with the 1961 Old Granddad and another Dusty from the 70s that I don't have enough to review everywhere, but I will be reviewing on the Patreon exclusively. So that's a fun one that's coming up. If you haven't joined the Patreon, $3 a month is the lowest level. It's worth considering, guys. There's going to be some really cool stuff. Cool videos. There's a lot of cool benefits at the other levels too, so please consider it. Like I said before, go ahead and like the video, comment, subscribe, click the bell, all the usuals. All the usuals. All right, I'm wearing down. I got to go to bed. I got a long day ahead of me tomorrow and a long weekend ahead of me, so you guys keep drinking like professionals, and I'll see you later. Cheers.